What is going on, guys? Samuel World from Samuel World Reviews here, back with another top 10 list. As today, I am here to discuss my top 10 best summer movies of 2019. Man, it's crazy that the summer movie season is already over, and now it's time to talk about the best films I saw this summer. Now, before me on this list, I want to give a few disclaimers. Firstly, I'm only discussing the movie that released between May to the end of August, so Endgame or unfortunately fans stuck with the renewal last year. Secondly, I unfortunately have not seen every movie I want to see before doing this list, so if you're not expecting movies like Ready or Not, Farewell, and The Peanut Butter Falcon, those unfortunately won't be on the list. That's mainly because I had not seen them. Thirdly, I will not be doing a worst summer list like I did last year, because this is one of the cases where not only I don't see the point of doing it, but I kind of don't feel like it, honestly. And lastly, like with all lists I do, this is just my personal opinion. This is my list. I'm sure your list will be different, so feel free to let me know what would be your list for the best summer movies of 2019 in the comment section down below. Anyways, got 10 films to talk about, so enough being on the bush. Let's get started with the list. Kicking off list at number 10 is Long Shot, Jonathan Levine's redemption after Snatch, because this movie was freaking hilarious. It can't run on a minute too long, but this film is still consistently hilarious. There were many scenes I was laughing my ass off. Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron give fantastic performances and look incredibly well off each other. The political aspects I thought were actually handled very nicely. The supporting cast I thought was even great, especially O.J. Frickin' Jackson Jr., who steals every freaking scene he's in. Combine that with a well-written script, very interesting story, and while it does kind of play a lot of the rom-com cliches you expect, it does in a way that feels unique and fresh, to where it doesn't feel like, oh, not this cliche again. But yeah, I've seen this film a few times since I saw it in early screening, and this film still makes me laugh every time I watch it. Kicking up the list at number 9, we have Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. This was actually a last minute addition to the list that I originally had yesterday on the list, but after rewatching it with a friend of mine last week, I ended up enjoying this one a lot more. I still do have some of my same issues, and while I won't say yesterday's much better movie, in terms of summer fun and entertainment, this film flies away with that. This movie is still as entertaining as it was for the first time. A lot of it definitely thanks to the amazing banter between Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Jason Statham, who freaking get the hilarious banter that has been that you expect they give. Even Vanessa Kirby stands on her own in this movie and Idris Elba plays as great as a villain, as interesting as villains you expect him to play, for better or for worse. But he also had great action and interesting enough story. Some of the crazy, logic-defying insaneness that you pretty much expect this franchise, and honestly, I wouldn't want it any other way. At number 8, we have Invader Zoom, Enter the Florpus. I think a lot of us have been waiting for Invaders to return in one way, shape, or form, and considering someone who's a fan of the show, this was everything I was wanting it to be. As I say in my review, this movie has pretty much everything that made the show so great in terms of animation, random humor, crazy zaniness, and it's just amazing how pretty much just like the show, and I mean that in the best way possible. Not to mention this movie is actually a little more emotional than I expected, especially involving Diba's dad. You could get an amazing climax that's so fun, zany, yet surprisingly touching. You get some great more interactions. You basically get everything, like I said, made the show so great. And like with Hobbs and Shaw, I wouldn't want it any other way. At number 7, we have Rocketman. Yeah, Rocketman was freaking awesome. Another movie I was very lucky to have seen early, and I still love the movie, especially after a rewatch. Taron Egerton gives one of the best performances, probably not the best performance of 2019, as Elton John. Like, he pretty much embodies everything that makes Elton John such an interesting person. And I'd be damned if he doesn't not only get nominated, but probably win on, because he was phenomenal here. Not to mention, this film definitely doesn't shy away from Elton John's life, and while probably kind of wanted a bit more, I really liked how it didn't just shy away, it didn't just like, it just showed all the darkness that involving Elton John's life. Not to mention, you got great acting for everybody else, especially Jamie Bell and Bryce Dallas Howard. You got fantastic musical numbers that are fun, entertaining, and great drama too, but also managed to hit the emotion very well. And then you got a great music biopic that after a last 2 years, like, there were a lot of disappointing biopics, I'm happy to see an amazing one. At number 6, we have Blinded by the Light. Oh no, I'm blinded by the light! Ah! I'm just kidding, but yeah, Blinded by the Light is another fantastic musical-related movie. It has a great soundtrack, great acting, great emotion, great realism to it. This one was basically, like I view everything of greatness that I was hoping it would be. Probably just wish that some of the supporting characters had a bit more to do, but I still love just about everything about this movie. I was inspired, I was feeling good throughout the movie. This movie had a smile on my face throughout the movie, and one I can definitely see myself loving and appreciate more the more I watch it. Now we are on the top 5, and coming in number 5 we have John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum. Definitely the best film in the John Wick franchise. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but the John Chapter 3 is freaking badass. Keanu Reeves still continues while he's amazing as John Wick. Wick. Halle Berry is also great as well. Ian McShane's great. This film's also even more hilarious than I expected. But then you come here basically to see some badass, crazy, insane action sequences, and you somehow get the most insane action in this franchise, and that's saying something. But this film was freaking badass. I was highly entertained throughout. This was as amazing as I was hoping it would be. And even though I wasn't expecting it, I am definitely excited to see what they do next with this franchise. Number 4, Spider-Man Far From Home. Another great addition to the MCU and a great closer to Phase 3. This film was every bit of fun, entertaining, but with a lot more emotion and passion I actually was anticipating. As man, this film really hit. Tom Holland continues to prove himself as Spider-Man / Peter Parker. He continues to prove that he can be very emotional and really bring his own to the role, and that's probably why he's probably my favorite interpretation of this character. Zendaya was great, and I love her chemistry with Tom Holland. Ned was hilarious. Jake Gyllenhaal steals every scene he's in as Mysterio. The action sequences are amazing. The humor is hilarious. Definitely one of the funniest MCU movies. I was definitely smiling and laughing throughout. And do I need to remind you of that post-credit scene? Because that first one was freaking awesome. And again, I unfortunately had to rewatch. I was hoping to rewatch this movie before doing this list to see if it'd be higher or lower, but I still remember a lot about this movie. I remember being so floored by that post-credit scene. I'm like, I just can't stop talking about it. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, Far From Home, awesome. At number 3, we have Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Another smash and home run from Tarantino's filmography. I freaking loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a truly fantastic film. It's definitely very long, but it's one of the films that just kind of breezes by, and I loved every minute of it. Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt are hilarious together, especially, and Brad Pitt delivers one of the best performances of the year. In my opinion, this film has Brad Pitt's best performance, period. Margot Robbie was great. The aspects from the Manson murder I thought was actually pretty interesting, but I was actually interested in a lot of the direction this film went for and how it paid homage to a lot of the 60s. This film is one of the films I feel like it could have been made in the 60s or looks a lot like filmed in the 60s, and that's impressive. And Quentin Tarantino continues to prove why he's one of the best directors ever, and this film definitely is why. At number 2, we have Booksmart. Olivia Wilde's amazing directorial debut that is hilarious and incredibly heartwarming. I love basically everything about this movie. I've actually rewatched the movie a couple times since I saw it at the early screening, and I still adore this movie. The two main leads are fantastic. They have one of the best friendships I've seen in quite some time. The humor is uproariously hilarious as I expect. The story is a lot more engaging than I expected. It goes in some very interesting directions that I personally love, especially this one scene involving dolls that's honestly my favorite scene in the entire movie. I don't know why, but it just made me laugh so much. But you have a very great heart to it, and hits some very good emotions. It's very real what the kids are going through. I honestly cannot wait to see what Olivia Wilde does next, and I love basically everything about Booksmart. So I'm now asking, what film couldn't be Booksmart and pretty much the rest of these movies? But before we do get to my number one, let's get into 10 honorable mentions. Aladdin, Child's Play, The Lion King, Crawl, Batman Hush, The Perfection, Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, Always Be My Maybe, and Yesterday. And for me, my favorite summer movie of 2019 is, also my most surprising, Toy Story 4. Honestly, if you asked me if this film ended up being my number one, I wouldn't believe it because I was pretty much as skeptical and hectic as everybody else about this unnecessary sequel, but we somehow got a movie that's just as amazing as the other Toy Story movies. And I wasn't expecting that. This movie is freaking awesome and definitely everything that you expect in a Pixar movie, and I mean that in the best way possible. I was very emotional throughout this movie. Like, for the first 10 minutes alone, I knew I was in for an emotional ride. Not to mention the animation is some of the most detailed and beautiful that Pixar has ever done, and that's saying something. This movie is also the funniest film in the franchise, also the funniest movie of the year, period. But now you also got great supporting characters and the stuffed animal characters, the villain, and Duke Kaboom, along with great voice acting from them as well. Got great amazing interactions between all the characters. They take them in very interesting directions that I was really into. And you find out with a very emotional ending that left me in tears. I fucking adore Toy Story 4, and that's why it's personally the film I enjoyed the most during the summer and my favorite movie of the summer of 2019. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed my list of my top 10 best summer movies of 2019. Please let me know in the comments down below, what are your favorite movies of the summer of 2018? What films have you loved during the summer of this movie? Like, you can get my list, but let me know what are your favorites, comment section down below. I have a lot more lists coming very soon, so be on the lookout for that. As always, thank you so much for watching. I honestly truly do appreciate. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video, be sure to share, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow all my social media sites. All links are down below. I am Samuel World from Samuel World Reviews. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, stay cooler, everybody. Peace.